Three, two, one. Yo!
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Amen. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are back with a very special video. We got the top 30 strongest One Piece characters.
Yeah, yes, sir. Amen. We say it all the time. What a time to be an anime fan, but what a time to be a One Piece fan, especially if you're a subscriber of this channel, because it is that time of the year for the top 30 strongest characters to drop. And I'm not gonna lie, both of these lists are spicy. Last year's list was pretty interesting, but I don't know. The verse got deeper. The verse got deeper. But without no further ado, before we jump into it, there's just a few things we're leaving off. Like, we're leaving that nigga Emu out.
Yes. Like, not only do we barely know shit, but we're talking about characters that really get in there and fight. Not like some
Yeah.
gimmicky, like the Doma Reverse is cool. We know it's strong and stuff. He caught Ross with it. We get that. We're not including Emu. So if you're expecting him on the list, he's not gonna be there.
And just how he said rocks, that's another thing. This is current One Piece characters, not all time.
Yes, all dead niggas are not on the list. Just getting that out the way. And also, we are combining the Gorosei and the Holy Knights as to one. Instead of flooding the list with every name of the Holy Knights and all of the Gorosei members, that is one spot on the list.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But with no further ado, just to jump on into it, at number 30, I got Shiryu. At 29, I got the Holy Knights. At 28, I got Gaben. At 27, I got Sengoku. And at 26, I got Marco. I'm not gonna lie. It's a crazy list for a lot of these characters. You would think it's just gonna be a lot higher. Like Shiryu, I mean, we don't know shit about him, but he's a first commander level character, so you got to give him that respect at least. But because we don't know shit about him, I'm not gonna put him over any of the characters that we do know shit about. The Holy Knights at 29. I mean, they're dogs, don't get me wrong, but they're also frauds. Like,
Yes.
they're really not all that. They have regen power, and I think that's what boosts them. Like, don't get me wrong, Summers is, I guess, somewhat strong, but I mean, he got bitched by Goblin when it came time to fight. So I'm gonna look at all the other Holy Knights, and I'm gonna assume they're really not on shit. We even saw in the God Valley flashback, Rocks went through all of them like they were nothing, and that is Rocks, but it was still one person.
Yeah.
Like, I can't put real respect on the Holy Knights until they show me something worth mentioning. Aside from that nigga Shamrock, he's in another category.
Yeah.
But
Shit.
at 28, Gabin showed out in Elbath for a little bit. He surprised me with how amazing he was against Summers. Like, he put him in his place. I'm starting to believe the hype on Gabin, and he fought Odin for 3 days consecutively, like, and basically tied with that nigga. I respect Gabin enough to put him on the list, although I can't really put him any higher because of who else is on the list. And next, at 26, Marco. Marco is a dog ass nigga. Don't get it fucked. But I can't put him any higher. I think it starts to get real tight. Although I will say it's real interesting. I got first commander level characters at 30.
Nigga, who you telling? We about to get into it. And I'm not gonna lie, that really just taught me off rip how different our lists are. Not entirely different yet, but the orders are interesting. But for me, at number 30, I got Kid. At 29, I have the Holy Knights. At 28, I have Marco. 27, I have King. And 26, I have Sanji.
We're thinking alike. We're thinking
We're
alike.
thinking alike. Starting with Kid at 30, like he looked bad. He looked bad. His showings are not the best, right? We all get that. But I think his hockey is strong enough. I think him being on God Valley, him or not on God Valley, him being on Roof Piece, him fighting Big Mom and challenging Shanks and like when you look at what his losses are at the end of the day, that's tough. I mean, look who it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's he has L's on his resume, but that's all we get to see is him going against the tippy top of the verse. So it's kind of hard to like really downscale him. But I think his hockey's good enough to be at least first commander level, bare minimum. So I have Kid at 30. 29, I got the Holy Knights for similar reasons. Like, I think we had them at the same place, right? Like 29?
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy Knights are frauds. Like, they can regen. Yes, they can. But the fact that they can regen and they jump rocks, I don't give a fuck how strong that nigga is. They were jumping him. And they can regenerate. And they lost badly. They didn't touch him. Like, how strong can they really be if that's the case? Like, you throw all the first commander. Look at Roof Piece when they fought Kaido. The Kaido on Roof Piece wasn't that far off from. We're going to get into that, of course. But when you look at the Holy Knights themselves, I can't put them any higher than 29, knowing who else is on the list when that's what you show up against. Like, that's what you show up and do. So, they're on fraud routes, in my opinion. I got them at 29. Marco at 28. All the first commanders are very close. I could really go either way with him and King at 27. But I went Marco at 28 just because I feel like it's kind of hard to say between the two. Marco showed out against King when it was Marco versus King and Queen. But he didn't really put damage on him. He kicked the shit out of him, sure, but he didn't really hurt the nigga. Like, I feel like a fight between them can really go either way, and that's the same with all the first commanders. I feel like the main first commanders are very interchangeable. But I put Marco at 28 personally, and I put King at 27. His durability is insane. Like, the fact that someone with the attack power of Zoro struggled, like, until he figured out how to beat him, that in itself is insane durability feats for him. He was fast enough to keep up with Sanji in the raid suit. Like, the bro's an animal, no pun intended. So I have King at 27. And then Sanji at 26, I feel like he's arrived at this point. We're on Elbaf right now. I don't know if he's going to fight a Holy Knight in Elbaf, but I feel like he would be able to rise to the occasion and get that dub. So I put him above the Holy Knights. And then as far as the rest of the first commanders, I feel like after Wano, I don't know if I would put him above them, but I feel like he was in the room already. Then you want to talk about after Egghead and going into Elbaf and the jump that he could have potentially made. I'm banking on that potential being enough to where he wouldn't lose anymore to the first commanders.
I agree with that. I agree with that for the most part. For the most part, especially just because going into my number 25, right after your 26, I got Sanji. At 24, I got King. At 23, I got Katakuri. At 22, I got Kid. And at 21, I got Yamato. I'm not gonna lie, this is where all the other first commanders start truly flooding in. I think Sanji can beat Marco. As far as all the other first commanders, I think it'd be a great fight, but he has to show me. Like, King is very close. Like, it was kind of hard for me to put Sanji over King. And actually, although I could go either way with them, I have King at 24. And actually, Katakuri, I think Katakuri is the stronger first commander of all of them. So I have him at 23. But I could really go either way between the three of King, Katakuri, Sanji, and Marco, the four. And next, Yamato, I think Yamato just cliffs the first commander room.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that 100%. Like, all the first commanders are so close, bro. Like, and then you're going to start to get into that gap in between first commander and the top, and that's going to be a whole different animal. But as far as the first commanders go, it really depends, bro. It really depends. Like, matchups really do matter in One Piece. So, it's kind of hard to say, but not too different from what I have. Because going into my 25, I have Scopper. 24, I have Rob Lucci. 23, I have Katakuri. 22, I have Sengoku. And 21, I put Dagorose. Now,
Say
Scopper at 25 is entirely off of his knowledge of hockey, let alone the fact that we see characters like Rayleigh, who, even in their old age, still can get down with the best of them. And I don't think Scopper is on Rayleigh's level still, but I think he still clearly has something in the tank. And his knowledge of hockey is just on another level to the point where he's even helping the Straw Hats out. Like, yo, like, they're not immortal. You can beat them. You just got to actually focus on how you're using your hockey. And just that type of knowledge base, I feel like, puts Scopper at 25. Now, I didn't put him over Rob Lucci because the way Rob Lucci rocked out against Zoro, I had to put respect on his name, especially in the anime because the manga didn't show it like that. Yeah. But the fact that he was in there with someone as strong as Zoro, and you're going to hear how we talk about Zoro, like, that's a big upscale for Lucci, in my opinion. I think his speed, that nigga's speed is crazy. He's not Sanji fast, but the power he packs with it is ridiculous. His awakening form is a problem. So I put Lucci at 24. And then Katakuri at 23. I think out of all the named first commanders, Katakuri's still the strongest. Like, his, I mean, you want to talk about having it all. Like, he was seeing into the future before we knew what it was. He got the hockey strength. He doesn't have the advanced conquerors, but none of the other first commanders do either. So when you want to look at his attack move set, like his move pool is so different and it's so unorthodox. He can pretty much do anything with it the same way Luffy could coming in the Whole Cake. Like, I put Katakuri at 23 to round off the true first commanders. And then 22, I put Sengoku. For a similar reason, I put Scopper at 25. Like, in his old age, we see old characters in One Piece doesn't mean that you're weak necessarily. You're just not at your peak. And Sengoku being the former fleet admiral, being this crazy war hero fighting against the top back in his heyday, like, he obviously took a step back, but we have to put some respect on Sengoku now. Like, he's not guard, but the nigga, I'm sure he can still box, even in retirement, the same way these other old characters can. So, I put Sengoku at 22. And then the Gorosei at 21, I put them at 21 for the same reason I put the Holy Knights at 29. I think they're on fraud watch. Like, their immortality got exposed. They're not unbeatable. Yeah. But at the same time, when you look at their sheer size, let alone the fact that they're not slow, and I think Nose Joro kind of carries them in terms of when you want to talk about how strong the Gorosei is. And then now you have Garling too. Those are some strong niggas. But overall, speaking just on the Gorosei in general, I think the biggest thing they had going for them is that immortality and that durability. Because we seen Luffy punched bro in the face with hockey and damn near broke his fucking head. Like, they got durability on top of the regeneration. So they're no slouches, but I don't think they're top 20 in terms of strength. And I don't think Nosjoro and Garling are that big of outliers to where I would put them higher.
Okay. I'm kind of with you for the most part all the way through. I'm not going to lie, I forgot about Rob Lucci. But if I didn't, he'd be in the same spot.
There's a lot of niggas.
But at number 20, I got Ben Beckman. At 19, I got Law. At 18, I got Green Bull. At 17, I got Rayleigh. And then at 16, I have the Gorosei. I'm not going to lie. 20, Ben Beckman, he's my last first commander. And I'm not going to lie. Katakuri's the top of the first commanders, but we know Ben is the king of the first commanders without getting anything just because of the crew he's on. It's a safe bet, so I'm putting that bet. But I can't put him any higher because we haven't seen shit from the brother. So it's hard to put him over anyone else who hasn't been named. Then Law at 19, his time was coming. He got beat by Blackbeard, though that is Blackbeard. I mean, Law is still a dog, and I don't think he's top tier, but I don't think he's far from it either. Like I put him at 19. Um, at 18, Green Bull. This is where the top tier starts, and I feel like this is the exact bottom of it for me. But I can't put Green Bull any higher than anyone else in that top tier. And then 17, Rayleigh. I think Rayleigh's top tier, but barely, just like Green Bull. The only person in the top tier I can see Rayleigh beat is probably Green Bull. But that being said, he's still the Dark King. I would respect him and put him at 17. Can't put him any higher. And then last but not least, the girls say, I'm kind of right there with you. The girls say are all frauds. Notice Joro carries like shit. So does Garling. And Garling was one of the Holy Knights who got bitched by a rock. So how much does he really
And that was in
carry
his prime,
too?
too.
That was in his prime. So I'm really thinking it's really just Joro who carries. That being said, though, they're still freaks. So I'd put them right there. I can't put them any higher over anyone else just because hell no. But at the very most, I could see them pulling out a dub against any other character.
Okay, okay. I agree for the most part. And you're gonna see like you pretty much the same people. The top tier is deep as hell now. The verse has
Yeah.
expanded. Like, I mean, you seen when we started off the list, it was First Commanders at fucking 30 game. Like,
Yeah.
One Piece is deep, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the top tier stretch is vast, and the gap stretches too. Because with number 20, I'm right there with you. I got Ben Beckman. At number 19, I'm right there with you again. I have Law. At 18, I have Shamrock. At 17, I have Yanto. And at 16, I have Green Bull. Now, at 20, I have Ben Beckman for the same reason you did. Like, just off of his name and the crew he's on, we know he's him. We know he got the crazy hockey feats. We know second hand to the red hair Shanks. Like, that's a big title in itself. But we haven't seen shit from the brother for me to put him higher than 20. Now, if he shows me, he shows me. But he got to show me.
Yeah.
Law at 19, same reasons for as you put him at 19. Like, we saw him lose to Blackbeard, but that's Blackbeard. And it wasn't just Blackbeard. It was pretty much the whole crew jumping his ass because Law's crew is sorry as hell. Like,
Yeah.
there's only so much he can do in that situation. But we saw him go toe-to-toe with Big Mom, and he was impressive. He wasn't just hanging around. He was impressive, and him and Kid got the dub. Like, Law got it. I don't, like you said, I can't put him top tier yet, but I think he's knocking on that door to get in.
Yeah.
18, I put Shamrock, and this is another character where when you look at who he is, being Shanks' brother, being the captain of the Holy Knights, and all of that, he still got to show me. And not just that, but I think he's a Zoro victim in the near future. So
I do too.
I put him at 18. At 17, I put Yamato. I put Yamato over Shamrock just because we've seen what Yamato does against top tiers. Like, she got in there against Kaido. He wasn't trying or whatever the case, sure, but that's still hybrid Kaido and she showed out. I put her over Shamrock just because Shamrock hasn't shown me anything yet. But that could change given what we get from Shamrock. So I put Yamato at 17 for now. And then I put Green Bull at 16. I'm right there with you. This is pretty much where the top tier starts, but Green Bull is the bottom of it. Like, he is an admiral. You don't just get that title for nothing. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, he showed up on Wano and he kind of rocked out a little bit. Granted, everybody was gassed and injured and whatever, but he did what he was supposed to do in that moment. He got punked by Shanks, but hey, nigga, that's Shanks. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's top tier. He's the bottom of top tier, but he is top tier. So I have Green Bull at 16.
I respect it. I respect it. We're on the same page, but I would say going into my number 15, I got Garp, At 14, I got Fujitora. At 13, I got Aokiji. At 12, I got Shamrock. And at 11, I got Loki. Like, these next five giants are all crazy as hell. Garp, I have him at 15. I couldn't put him any higher just because he's just out of his prime. But even with that, he's still a tank. We saw what he did against Aokiji. And he got snuck by Shidoru. No, it shouldn't have happened for someone of his caliber. That being said, though, it did. But actually, he was trying to help Kobe, but there was a different way you could have went about it.
Yeah, why he jumping the way? Just hit the nigga or some shit.
That's what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, like, Garp is impressive as shit, but I can't put him any higher. Although I would put him for sure over everyone that name has already been called. Fujitora at 14. I feel like I can give Fujitora the slight edge over Garp, just because he seems a little bit more impressive. Gravity Fruit is very broken, and he's a swordsman, a blind one at that. You know how that be. But that being said, Fujitora is a tank. I can't put him any higher just because we haven't seen too much from him. And he does like to play with his food when he really should be crushing niggas. Like, he fought Zoro in Dressrosa, and it looked interesting. Like, I mean, he did send that nigga to hell, but still. He even fought Sawa when he first got the devil fruit, and that should have been packed. Yeah. Like, he plays with his food. But that being said, he's still an admiral. And then at 13, I got the other admiral, Aokiji. I'm not going to lie, he could be a lot higher. And the fact that he's this low says a lot about everyone else. Because at the end of the day, he took Akainu to Game 7. That means he got to be strong. But that being said, I don't have him too much higher just because of everyone else on this list. At 12, I got Shamrock. Shamrock, we haven't seen shit. I agree with you. I'm 100%. All of the Holy Knights are frauds. Now, he hasn't shown anything. He is Shanks' twin, though, which is why I give him a lot more grace. Like, I'm giving him a lot of grace out of that, to where I know for a fact he's probably top tier just because of that. But, and his position, he's captain of the Holy Knights. But at the end of the day, that immortality shit can only get you so far. You got to have the real power to back it. And I think you will have that power, but I can't see it being top 10 power. I think he's just right outside it. And next, at 11, I got Loki. Loki has to show me something before I just squeeze and put him any bit higher in that top 10 category. However, outside of that top 10, I can see him beating everyone. Like, I can see Loki taking the dub against old Garp. I can see Loki beating a Fujitora and Aokiji. If Loki lives up to the potential. Like, there's two different versions of Loki we can see. We can see the version of Loki where he's honestly not that much stronger than Sanji, or we can see the version of Loki to where you would think this nigga may get his get back on Luffy for sneaking him. Like, there's so many different versions of Loki, but if Loki lives up to what Harold used to be, then I think he got to be at least 11. And next, yeah, that's my 11.
Sheesh. The top tiers get interested, man. Like, it's tough. I agree with you on pretty much everything. I'm not going to lie. Outside of Shamrock, of course. But, again, he hasn't done anything yet, so it's kind of hard to say. But yeah. Going into my 15, I have Rayleigh. 14, I have Fujitora. 13, I have Aokiji. 12, I have Garp. And 11, I have Loki. Now, going into Rayleigh at 15, I'm right there with you. Like, I think Rayleigh is, like, pretty much top tier, but the only one I can see him beating is Green Bull. Because he's the bottom. Like, if Rayleigh is top tier, that's the one I see him beating.
That's the only one.
That's the only one. So, I have Rayleigh at 15. Fujitora at 14. The brother's Devil Fruit is busted. And like you say, he does play with his food a lot. I would really love to see Fujitora get serious. And of course, being an admiral, there's not many situations where they're allowed to just rock the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, unless there's another Marine Ford going on, there's only so many situations where we're gonna get to see that. But from what we have seen from him, his Devil Fruit is broken. Like you said, Blind Swordsman, you know how that go. Like, they're always cold as a bitch. So I have Fujitora at 14. 13, I have Aokiji. Like, he went toe to toe with Akiinu, took him to the brink. They fought for days, nigga. Like, they changed the climate of an island. They changed the landscape with their fight. Like, and everyone regards Akiinu highly. We're gonna get there, but
Yeah.
Aokiji gotta be strong. And like you said, he could potentially be higher, but it's kind of hard to see him going and winning against a lot of these people that I have above him. So I had to put him at 13. And then I put Garp at 12 because when he did fight Aokiji, what it looked like to me. Like, obviously there's varying factors in there. Like, they were really trying to just obliterate each other and all of that. And Garp got stabbed prior and all of this happened. But to what it looked like when I'm going eye test, it looked like Garp had the upper hand. Now, he did end up losing in the end. He made the play for Kobe to have his honesty impact, and then Aokiji packed his ass right after that. But I think the way the fight was looking, how it was going, like how it was going to go, I feel like Garp was going to win that fight. So I put Garp at 12. And then Loki at 11 for the exact same reasons you did. There's multiple different versions of Loki that we could get when we finally get to see him. There's the version that's not as strong as we thought. Maybe everyone was overrating him. Maybe he should be lower on the list. But then there's also that version with unlimited potential, because not only did we see Harold go fucking crazy back in the day, I mean, he fought Rock several times and didn't necessarily just lose. Like, Harold was a monster, and Loki's just as big, and I would assume just as strong. We saw what happened when he struck the tree.
Loki's bigger.
Is he? God damn. Like, that's a big nigga, bro. And my stigma on big characters in One Piece specifically has changed drastically after we see the Giants move quick and how quick they can move. Like, let alone for Harold Big Ass to be able to fight someone like Rox's size and strength. Like, that says a lot. He has enough to be able to move quick. But the biggest thing for me, if he did eat this devil fruit,
yeah,
holy shit. Like,
yeah, I kind of already have him at 11 without the devil fruit. I ain't even really think about it.
yeah, me, like, I have him at 11 without the devil. If he ate this devil fruit, gang, that is a problem. Like, that's a serious problem for niggas. But until we have confirmation of that, I'm just going off Loki without the devil fruit. So I have him at 11.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm right there with you all the way. All the way. All the way. The only reason why I can't put Loki any higher than 11 is because there's a lot of niggas. And this is where the top tier gets really interesting. But at number, I got Zoro. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Zoro is a dog ass nigga, bro. Dog ass nigga. And I'm not gonna lie, I would put him higher, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't because of all the other victims on this list. But anyone that hasn't been named or was named before 10 is a Zoro victim if they fought. That's how I see it. Like, Loki is the last person who could probably give Zoro bump, who would probably could go either way, but I'm still giving it to Zoro, which is why I have Zoro at 10 and Loki at 11. But I mean, just look at Zoro's bag. He has advanced conquerors, advanced armament, and most likely advanced observation. He's a speedster. He's not Sanji fast, but the nigga can move because at the end of the day, he kept up with Rob Lucci. And I would say Rob Lucci is probably top 10 in terms of speed in the verse. Like, Zoro kept up. Zoro also kept up with King, who's also a speedster. At some point, we just got to turn around and call Zoro a speedster. So Zoro has that. And then you want to talk about physical strength. He's a brute.
Yeah.
And he's durable as fuck. Like, he's as durable as it gets for a regular human. Like, Zoro at 10, I think that's a perfect spot for him.
I agree wholeheartedly because I also have Zoro at 10. Like, Zoro, when you look at everything he has in his bag, the hockey, like, it'd be crazy for him to have advanced conquerors and not have advanced observation. That's just how I see it. Like, it'd be kind of crazy at this point for Zoro to not have that shit. Especially when you look at the opponents he's fighting. Like, there's no fucking way he doesn't have advanced observation. Like,
Yeah.
but he has the advanced conquerors hockey. And he's about to probably get even stronger with it because of what Scopper said going into these fights with the Holy Knights. Like, if you focus on really, like, how you use your hockey, you can beat them. Their immortality don't mean shit. Like, and I feel like that is going to make Zoro even stronger than he is now. But when you want to talk about how he is now, he kept up with Rob Lucci. He kept up with King, who was hawking Raid Suit Sanji. Like, that whole narrative that Zoro is slow is dead in the water.
Yeah.
Is he one of the fastest in the verse? No. But he's fast enough. He's fast enough to be top tier. So I'm right there with you. I got Zoro at 10.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. At number 9, I got Big Mom. I'm not gonna lie, Big Mom is a tank. And I can't put Big Mom any higher just because of all the other top tiers. But Big Mom really did impress. She's probably the second most durable top tier member, or third most, behind Luffy and Kaido. Like, then you want to talk about her physical strength. She's a physical brute, obviously master of all three hockeys. Like, she got jumped by Kid and Law. She had to get out of there. She got jumped out of there. And at the end of the day, she fell in the lava. She didn't just exactly get down and just gave up. Like, Big Mom is a force to be reckoned with. And I just couldn't put her any higher but than 9. But that's where I got her.
I agree once again because I also have Big Mom at 9. Like, Big Mom, when you want to talk about eating shit, like you said, when Kid and Law jumped her, she didn't just go down. She wasn't knocked out. Like, she got knocked through the earth. They sent her ass to the gates of hell. Absolutely. But she was conscious when she was falling. She wasn't out of there yet. Like, and I feel like in that matchup itself, Law's kind of like a matchup nightmare for someone as big as Big Mom. Even though Big Mom is clearly not slow. We've seen the examples of that. But I feel like the nigga teleporting around like that is a matchup nightmare for someone so big. So that played a big factor into that as well, in my opinion. When you want to talk about the raw physical power, she's a literal powerhouse. I mean, we literally saw how everyone glazes Kaido to oblivion, and rightfully so. Big Mom and Kaido clashed, and it was even.
Yeah.
They was fucking 1-0 up when they clashed. But it was even. So, Big Mom got to be in the top 10 somewhere. I didn't put her higher because of everybody else on the list. But I have Big Mom in there as well.
Nah, I respect it all the way through. At number 8, I got Blackbeard. I'm not going to lie. Blackbeard is a demon. He beat Law. Now, he had his crew help, but he beat Law. I can't put Blackbeard any higher just because he's fat. Like mostly just because I can't really see him beating anyone else who's on this list. Like, don't get me wrong, narrative wise, he probably should be like top 3 or top 5. But if you really want to play that game, you could play that game about everyone else on this list.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like narrative goes out the window when you reach the top 10. Like, I feel like Blackbeard is a dog. I mean, he has Whitebeard's old fruit and the darkness fruit, master of all three. But at the end of the day, bro, look at the rest of this list. Like, I just can't put him any higher. I can't put him any higher. I truly believe that anyone else on this list would beat Blackbeard if they fought in a one-on-one. So I put Blackbeard at 8.
You know, I'm really curious how similar our top 10s are because I also have Blackbeard at 8. Like,
yeah,
Blackbeard having those 2 devil fruits, like, it's not just he has 2 devil fruits, it's those 2 devil fruits. Like,
yeah,
that in itself, the nigga could have no hockey, and that's lethal. But the nigga got all three types of hockey. Like Blackbeard is a problem. Beat up Law, but the only reason I can't put him higher than 8 is because now, mind you, look who we're talking about. But at the same time, that nigga tucked tail and ran from Akinu.
Yeah, with both fruits.
With both fruits and all the hockey. He was already an emperor at this point. That nigga tucked tail and took off. Like, not a clash, no nothing. And I understand, like, back in the day, we seen the flashbacks. Roger and Rox, they took off when they saw Garp coming. They don't want to deal with the Marines. Nigga, fuck that. That nigga was actually scared. Like, yeah. It's different from being like, oh, nah, we don't want to deal with that. Let's get out of here. And I don't want to fight that nigga.
Bro, he said, Akainu, got the fuck.
Shit. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I got Blackbeard at 8.
I respect that. Shit. At number 7, I got Mihawk. I'm not gonna lie. Mihawk is a demon, and technically he's a book bag to Shanks. Like, wherever you put Shanks, you really should put Mihawk right next to that nigga. Whether it's above Shanks or below Shanks, they're both here and here with it. But if you really want to play that game, you could do the same thing with Aokiji and Akainu. Yet, look how far apart they are. Same with Big Mom and Kaido. You could play that game with those two. They should be right there and there. They literally fought and it was even. Like, they literally. So, just off of that, that's part of the reason why they're not side by side for me. But at the end of the day, I respect Mihawk enough to have him at 7. Like, the nigga is the master swordsman, Black Blade, Zoro's ambitious, like, master of all three, most likely. Like, I feel like the only reason he's not higher is just because of all the other people on this list. But I got him at 7.
I respect it. Mihawk's a problem. Mihawk's a problem. We all know he's a problem. And the fact that he was Shanks of all people's rival, like, that speaks volumes to his strength and what you can only imagine what he would do in fights against some of these other characters. So I respect it.
Yeah.
But for my number 7, I have Kizaru. Now, Kizaru, when you want to talk about a broken devil fruit, like, the nigga's made a lot. Like, he's the fastest nigga in the verse just because of how broken his devil fruit is. You want to talk about attack power? The bag he has when he fought Luffy, I didn't even know what the fuck was happening half the time because of how crazy his bag is when you want to talk about offense. But he also has the defense. And I'm glad that they showed that to us, that Kizaru's defense is nothing to be played with. Like, yeah. Because that was the biggest thing. I'm like, well, what is his defense talking about? Can he, like... Obviously, he's a Logia type. He can avoid stuff. But if someone tries to really put them hands on him, what's he going to do? He was in there with Luffy, blocking everything. He got defense. So, it's tough putting him higher than a lot of these characters. And it's interesting because Kizaru is one of those characters where it's like, it's really hard to imagine him losing to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But like Luffy beat him.
Luffy beat him.
You can put hands on Kizaru.
Luffy beat him, but that's also
Luffy. That is also Luffy. But that showed what it would look like to be Kizaru. Because that was my biggest thing. Like, what would it look like for Kizaru to lose? Well, I see now is Luffy again. Luffy's bag is different too. We're gonna get to that, but I saw what it looked like for Kizaru to lose. It showed me that it's possible, even though obviously we know it's possible. Anyone can lose. But to actually see it makes me think, why can't another top tier come in and potentially win that matchup? So when you want to look at who else is on the list, I can't put them higher than them just off of knowing like what they have in their bag as well. But I mean, Kizaru can match up with anybody and go the distance, in my opinion. Like, I feel like this is where that bar starts. For like anyone, no matter what type of strength, no matter what devil fruit, no matter what level of hockey, they can go the distance with you at this point.
Yeah, they can go the distance with Roger.
Like
Anyone at this.
at this point, matchups is not like it's not a matchup issue with fighting somebody. Like anyone from this point on can just match up with anybody, no matter if it's an advantage, disadvantage. It don't matter.
Yeah,
But yeah, I got Kizaru at 7.
I respect it because at 6 I got Kizaru. Kizaru is a filthy animal, and if it wasn't for Aki Inu existing, I'd call him the strongest admiral ever. Like and Garp, but at the end of the day, few Kizaru literally is him. He lost, but he lost to Luffy. That's different. Like at the end of the day, this nigga Kizaru is him, bro. He's the fastest in the verse. He's physically strong as hell. His kicks were sending niggas flying through barriers and shit. Like, his recovery is insane. And for me, his fight with Luffy kind of boosted him more than took him down because I got to see, on one hand, I got to see what it actually looks like for Kizaru to lose. On the other hand, I got to see what it actually looks like for him to fight seriously. And all I can say is shit. I don't know too many characters who's actually beating this nigga when he's going all out. Bro, he had like after images clones and shit.
Yeah, I'm like, what the
And all of them were moving his speed. Like, bro, when Kizaru is fighting seriously, there's probably only like 5 niggas in the verse who can beat him. 5 to 6. So I respect you having him at 7. I have him at 6.
Hey, that nigga's an animal, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I would love to see Kizaru against a lot of these niggas just to see what it would look like. Like, definitely one of the most interesting characters to watch fight. I can tell you that much for damn sure. But going into my number 6, I have none other than Kaido. Kaido, when you want to talk about a showcase, like, for a character that's not the main character, this nigga has probably the best showcase in One Piece. When you want to talk about just showing off and showing out. Like, we're 2 arcs past when Kaido got defeated, and niggas are still glazing him to infinity. For good reason. Yeah. For good reason. Because that nigga's show out was insane. Like, he dropped like 14 niggas while drunk at night. Like, wiped the floor with the Akazaya 9. Fought on Roof Piece. Big Mom wasn't even really helping him like that for most of Roof Piece. Like, aside from some Zeus Thunder and shit, like, Big Mom was kind of just watching from the side. Kaido fought all 5. And until they split up, then he fought Gear 5. First he fought a Luffy that arrived at the top tiered room, beat him again, then fought Gear 5, and finally lost. Like, you want to talk about a showcase, showing absolute raw power. He has all 3 types of haki. Like, he's one of the most durable characters in One Piece. He's the second most durable character in One Piece. He's fast as hell. He was dodging lightning bolts. Like, Kaido has it all. So, I got Kaido at 6. I couldn't put him in my top 5 because of who's in there and how I feel like those fights would go. But at the end of the day, you never know. Kaido's, if it's one-on-one bet on Kaido, they don't say that for no reason. Now, I'm betting on the other 5, but they don't say that for no reason. So, I have Kaido at 6.
I respect that. I respect that a lot. You're going to see where I have Kaido. It's not too far off. But at number 5, top 5. At number 5, I got Dragon. Like, usually I'm on the Dragon hype train to where he's won. But he's slowly starting to come down for me. And mostly just because of how he moves. Like, not to say he moves scary. He moves strategic. But it's like, damn, nigga, get active. Like,
it's like, fuck. He's getting frustrated at this point.
Oh, you son of a bitch. I just realized I forgot my son Sabo.
Oh, damn. I forgot him, too.
Damn. But, yeah, as far as Dragon goes, like, damn, that kind of hurts. As far as Dragon goes, Dragon is him. and he's Luffy's father. He may have a devil fruit. He may not. He may not even need it. But at the end of the day, we know he's top of the Revolutionary Army. So I would put him at 5. There's only like a handful of niggas I can actually see beating Dragon without us seeing anything on Dragon. Like, I think it wouldn't make sense for anyone else in the verse to beat Dragon, except for these few niggas. So I got Dragon at 5.
I also have Dragon at 5 for a similar reason for what you just said. Like, I don't think it would make much sense for a lot of these characters to be able to beat him. Like, he hasn't done literally anything yet, which is frustrating at this point because the whole entire rest of the Revo is getting active. But when you look at who Dragon is, most wanted man, part of Luffy's family, we see how cracked his family is. Like, he taught Sabo how to fight. Sabo could fight a little bit before he met Dragon, but he taught Sabo the Dragon Claw and all that. It's safe to assume the Dragon Claw that Sabo has is part of his bag. Like, I can't wait to see Dragon fight. I feel like all we can really go off of is narrative-wise because he hasn't done a damn thing. But I don't understand why anyone under him so far would be able to beat the head of the Revo. Like, because if they could, then I wouldn't see the Revo as big of a threat as they are.
Exactly.
So, I have Dragon at 5. Now, could he show out and climb the ladder? Absolutely. But he hasn't done anything yet. So the fact that he's even at 5 still is just off the respect.
Exactly. I'm right there with you. But just to keep going, at number 4, I said I had him a few spots later. At number 4, I got Kaido. Like, Kaido's showing was impressive, and to me, it's probably the most impressive showing out of any character in One Piece, like that we've seen from at least one of the most impressive. He put on in Wano. He took out all of the Akaza 9 like they were nothing. Like, I mean, they were nothing compared to him. But then you want to look at Roof Piece. Bro, he was chilling on Roof Piece. Didn't use observation hockey until the end of the fight. Like, that man did not take shit too real serious until Luffy was fighting him one-on-one. By the time that came, then he took it more serious. That man, Kaido, is a master of all three, of course. He is physically probably the strongest in the verse, or one of the strongest. Durability, he's probably the most durable. And then you want to talk about speed. He was fast enough to dodge lightning. He's clearly top 5 for speed. Like, Kaido is a freak, and he's scary as hell. I would put him at 4.
Hey, I respect it. That nigga's an animal. No pun intended again. Like, when you want to talk about just being an absolute physical specimen, we talked about Zoro being a physical specimen. Kaido, nigga? Like, he's a freak. He's big as shit, can take crazy punishment, and just continue to fight through it. And he also has that crazy ass mindset that a lot of these characters have where it's like, bitch, I want that smoke. I'm not running from nothing. Like, they talked about he got captured 9 times, executed 27 times, and all of that. He seeks out. When he got introduced, he said, let's start the greatest war this world's ever seen. He's a crazy bastard. He want every bit of smoke you have to offer. Like, I definitely respect Kaido being in that Mount Rushmore of strength for top 30 current characters. But to go into my number 4, you already said him. I got Mihawk. Now, Mihawk is that book bag to Shanks, but that's not entirely why I put him at 4. Like, when you look at what swordsmen have been able to do in One Piece, like, Odin was able to leave a scar on someone as strong as Kaido. Odin's not fucking Mihawk with the sword. Like, his sword's big as shit too. The best sword in the show. And he clearly know how to use it. He's a rival to Shanks for who knows how long. Like, and we all know, you haven't heard Shanks' name yet. You see where we regard him. They gotta be close. So, I got Mihawk at 4. People like to go back and forth between him and Shanks. I personally wouldn't put him over him, but
I
I'll
wouldn't
let y'all
either.
argue that shit. I'm not really like, you know what I'm saying. I could go either way, but for right now, I got Miyagi at 4.
Okay, okay. I respect the hell out of it. Shit. At number 3, I got Ake Inu. Like, Ake Inu is a dog, bro. Strongest Marine, probably of all time. It's between him and Garp. And obviously, everyone bets on Garp, but I might just bet on Ake Inu. I don't know. Like, I could go either way. But the fact that I could go either way just goes to show you how strong Ake Inu really is. Like, Ake Inu is the current head of the Marines. And I'm thinking he's walking down anybody on this list aside from 2 characters. Like, truth be told, Ake Inu, I can't put him over those other 2 characters just because of what we've seen from them and what we know about them. But at the end of the day, what we know about Ake Inu says he's top 3. So
Yeah,
I would put him at 3.
I'm right there with you. I have Ake Inu at 3. Like, Ake Inu has one of the best feats in One Piece, period. He took Aokiji to the wire and won. No help, no
Yeah.
breaks, no nothing. It was a straight fight. They did not stop fighting until someone lost, and the loser was Aokiji. Ake Inu won that fight fair and square. There was no cheat shit. There was no extra stipulations on the fight. It was just them, and Ake Inu won that fight against another top tier. Like, that's one of the best feats in One Piece. And then you want to talk about just who he is, the position he holds, his devil fruit being that destructive and broken. Like,
Yeah.
let alone we see all the other admirals with hockey. Ake Inu clearly got good hockey, clearly got good defense. Like the battleship bag training that they saw, Ake Inu obviously probably put in work on that. Like, he got hands, so there's nothing that Ake Inu just doesn't have to where he can't fuck with anybody. And I'm talking about on an all time level. Like, this is where we're at
Yeah.
now. Like, I think Inu's taking all them niggas to the wire. He's taking
Hell
Ross
yeah.
to the wire. He's taking Roger to the wire. He's taking Prime Garp to the wire. Like, that's the type of strength that Ake Inu has, and I feel like just his destructive, like, when you want to talk about attack power, he has one of the most destructive devil fruits. So I got Ake Inu at 3.
I'm right there with you. Like, the Red Dog is taking anybody in the verse to the wire. And when you want to talk about the current characters alive, there's only 2 characters in the verse who I can say, yeah, they're probably going to beat Ake Inu. Outside of those 2 characters, I really can't see anybody beating Ake Inu. That's just how strong
That nigga
he
made
is.
Blackbeard run.
hmm But at number 2, this is where it gets interesting. At number 2, I got Shanks. Like, Shanks is him, red-haired twin. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Shanks is arguably the strongest in the verse. The only reason why I don't have him at 1 is because of who's at 1. But when you look at who Shanks is, he's the god of hockey, and hockey is the real means all to the verse. Even though Devil Fruits still matter, like, hockey really fucking matters. And Shanks has it on a god level. He did Wi-Fi hockey to Green Bull. His Conquerors hockey we know is the best. He one-shotted Kid and Killer in the same attack. Like, this nigga is clearly him. He's on a whole new level. And he is really the second strongest character in the verse, in my opinion. Like, I just can't put on 1 because of who's at 1 for me. But at number 2, I have Shanks.
I also have Shanks at number 2. And just like you said, I can't put him 1 because of who's at 1. Like, but when you want to look at Shanks and the little bit of sample size we do get to see from him, it's impressive every time. He shows the fuck out every time, to the point where the whole community is in an uproar at everything he does. Like, Kid, I had him at 30 on this list. Now, you ain't think, oh, 30, that's crazy. But it's a lot of strong niggas in this 30. Like, Shanks one-shotted him. Easily, effortlessly. And his Wi-Fi hockey that was on Green Bull, who we both agree is the door to the top tiers. That's a top tier nigga that he Wi-Fi hockeyed and made him dip out. Like that's the type of strength and hockey mastery that Shanks has. Like when you want to talk about purely hockey usage, he's easily top one. It's just I can't put him over who's at one, and I'll get into why when we get there. But I gotta put Shanks at two. I feel like him and number one are the only ones who can beat Aki Inu, like you said.
Yeah.
So I gotta put him at two.
I'm right there with you all the way. And the only reason why he's not number one is because, once again, I'm right there with you all the way. At number one, we got Luffy. Like, Luffy is the strongest character in One Piece at the moment. And if you want to go all time, he's top 5, maybe top 1. Like, I'm not going to lie, Luffy is him. When you really hone in on it, there's nothing to kid about. The man is a master of all three hockeys. Like, yeah, Shanks is the god of hockey, but Luffy is still a master of all three hockey, capable of splitting the sky. At that point, it doesn't get that much better with hockey. There's different level feats we've seen niggas do with hockey, but Luffy split the sky by himself when he first did the Gear 5th Awakening. So that in itself isn't a feat. Then you want to talk about the Awakening. He has his Devil Fruit Awakening, and his Devil Fruit Awakening just so happens to make his Devil Fruit literally the most broken in the verse. He has the most broken Devil Fruit, which can bend reality. The man's body parts flew off, and he re-put it back on like it was a cartoon gag. Like, Luffy is currently the strongest. He is physically probably top 3 when you want to talk about physical strength. When you want to talk about durability, he's top 3. When you want to talk about speed, he's top 3. Kept up with Kizaru. Then you want to talk about everything else. Luffy has everything that you need to really put him up there in the verse. And I don't think he just dominates the rest of the top 10, but I do think he stands at the top of the top 10. So, I mean, he didn't dominate Kizaru, but he still beat that nigga. Like, at the end of the day, Luffy is the only character in the verse to beat a Yonko and an Admiral. A lot of people give slack on Luffy for his Kaido fight, but when you really look at that fight, Kaido didn't receive damage from anyone else. He took an injection shot from Law and took a scratch from Zoro. That being said, he did not receive damage from anyone else. He stalled a bit with Yamato, but that's pretty much it. Luffy did all the work in that. When you want to talk about taking down Kaido, that's Luffy's dub. Luffy beat Kaido and he beat Kizaru. That's 2 of the strongest niggas that are also top 10. He has the feats to put him at 1, and he also has the Devil Fruit. He has the hockey. Luffy is the strongest character.
I agree 100%, especially with what you said about the Kaido fight. Like, the only times Kaido was huffing and puffing in that fight was after exchanges with Luffy. Nobody else did anything to that man. Like, people like to say, oh, he was carrying the island and he was drunk and he fought 20 niggas. Like, that did not affect him at all, gang. Like, he was not visibly tired from carrying Onigashima. Like, the nigga was fine. Yeah, Momonosuke struggled. That's Momonosuke, not fucking Kaido, nigga. Like, how much are we saying that really affected Kaido to where you can take a win away in a one-on-one? Like, let alone the damage he received. The only damage he received was a scratch from Zoro. Are we really saying that scratch? This is the same Kaido y'all glaze, mind you. Are we saying that scratch is enough to give Luffy the upper hand?
Like, come on.
What are we talking about? Luffy put in every ounce of damage in that fight. Nobody else did any lasting damage to that man. That is a win. He beat Kizaru. People like to put stipulations on that too. Kizaru wasn't locked in. He was thinking about Vegapunk. Maybe that was true. But you're telling me with the bag you saw from Kizaru, like, you're telling me that he just didn't try at all. He wasn't trying
He was
against
fighting
God.
serious.
Like, let's keep it a stack now. There's no need to take wins away. It's a win. Because I guarantee you, if Zoro beat Kizaru like that, y'all would say, yeah, he beat Kizaru. But for some reason, when it's Luffy, apparently that don't count. But that's two niggas in the top 10 that Luffy beat. You want to talk about feats? He got the feats to be one. There's characters on this list that don't have feats remotely close to the position they deserve, but they're still there. But Luffy actually has the feats. He has the Haki. He has the most broken devil fruit in One Piece. Even more broken than the Quake fruit. Even more broken than the darkness fruit. Even more broken than the light fruit.
And that's the thing. He has a master. He's a master of Haki. Luffy's a top 5 Haki user and a top 1. Really, if you want to debate, then fuck it. He's a top 5 Devil Fruit user, and you could say top 3 Devil Fruit user and top 3 Haki user. I can't think of 3 niggas with better Haki or a better Devil Fruit than Luffy in the verse right now at the moment. Like, Luffy is literally there and there for both sides of what you need. Then you want to talk about the physics. Like, he is a physical specimen.
Yeah, like, you want to talk about durability. The only person I would put more Hold on! God damn it. You want to talk about durability. The only person I would put over Kaido is Luffy. Like, when you look at Luffy got blasted with a fire breath and just shook the fucking burnt crisp off himself and was fine. Like, when you look at the type of punishment Luffy has eaten, even before we consider him top tier, his durability was nuts. You want to talk about now? Like, he got kicked through the barrier and said, damn, that hurt. Where he at? Yeah. Like, bro, Luffy is different, and it is hard to put Luffy down. The only weakness Luffy has is running out of time. That's it. But if he beat your ass before that, does it matter?
Exactly.
Like, I got Luffy top 1 in the verse right now, and what's crazy is his Haki's about to get even better because just like Zoro, if you just really focus on how you're using your Conqueror's Haki, immortality don't mean nothing to you.
Mm-hmm.
He's about to get even colder with the Haki. So I don't see anyone on the list, the whole top 30, that can actually beat Luffy right now.
Yeah, like, Shanks is the only person where I can see a real debate. But anyone else, Kaido, I can see a debate, but Luffy already beat Kaido, so I'm not entertaining it. Like, when you want to look at everyone else on this list, I can't see a real reason why they would beat current Luffy, aside from Shanks. Like, and then when you want to compare Luffy versus Shanks, Luffy has a better Luffy still has as good Haki as that nigga. Like, we're not gonna act like this nigga Shanks' Haki is just all the way up here while Luffy's is right here. It's right here and here at anything. It's just on another level. Like, then you want to talk about the devil fruit factor and everything else. Luffy has everything and feats to say that he's stronger than Shanks. So I'm gonna just have to give it to Luffy.
Yeah, like, Shanks is the real comparison here. Like, Shanks is the real conversation. But Shanks hasn't done anything that I'm thinking, oh, Luffy can never do that. Like,
yeah.
Like, or he hasn't done anything where I'm saying that's just out of the question for Luffy to do. Like, the Wi-Fi Haki, who's to say Luffy won't be able to do that at some point? He just hasn't tried it.
Yeah.
He's about to work on his Haki control right fucking now in the manga. Like, they're about to fight the Holy Knights. If Luffy tried that, I bet he could do it.
Probably.
So, I got Luffy top 1. I know y'all about to rage in the comments. I'm ready for it. Go ahead.
Let us know. But, hey, man, that's our top 30. Let us know your top 30 strongest One Piece characters in the comments. Is your list different from ours? Is it similar? Let us know in the comments.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. But, hey, man, If you enjoyed this video as much as we love doing it, make sure you hit that like button, hit the big red subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss our next top 30 or any of our other special videos. We drop straight bangers on this channel, so make sure you guys tap in with us. With that being said, make sure you guys click our description. There'll be 3 links waiting for you. First one will take you to all of our socials, Sons of Tokyo on every platform. The second one will take you to our Discord. You feel me? Come on in. You know what I'm saying? Join that Discord. Come vibe out with us. Talk about anything anime, non-anime, sports, movies. It don't matter. And last but certainly not least, the link to our Patreon will be in the description. Make sure you guys join that. You can become a member for free and watch all of our anime reactions over on Patreon. It is completely free, so make sure you guys check that out. But yeah, man. With that being said, SOT out.